We are here in Colorado Springs, Colorado, on the campus of the Air Force Academy. New Mexico comes into town to take on Air Force. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Glad you could join us on a Friday night. Jacob Toby alongside Brian Butch. This is a really important game for both of these teams tonight.
Yeah, when you look at it, Air Force 0-6 their last 6 games. New Mexico 0-2. Each team needs to find a way to get a win tonight.
And you mentioned New Mexico. They're going to be without their second leading scorer tonight. Jalen House, he's going to be out. Just found out he's out due to injury. He got injured in practice.
Yeah, and then you look at it, who's got to step up? Well, it starts with Jamal Mashburn Jr. He's done it all year long for this New Mexico team. He's going to have to do it tonight. Now the defense is going to shift towards him. So how does he handle that with House out? Then you look at Air Force and what they've got to do. It's Ritas Petrides. The last 2 games, he struggled. 2 of 12, 5.7 rebounds. Now, he likes that New Mexico's here because he had a 19 and 11-point game against them. Can he get himself going in this game?
All right, we'll see what Petrides can do for the Falcons. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. Petrides, Jake Highbreeder, the leading scorer for the Falcons. Watch those 2 guys. On the other side, we talked about Jamal Mashburn. Starting in place of Jalen House will be Donovan Dent, the freshman from Riverside, California. Averages about 19 minutes a night, so he's going to get a lot of work in this game today. Our officials for tonight: David Hall, Nate Harris, and Rob Kuhneman. It's the 91st meeting between these 2 teams. New Mexico has owned this series, 64-26 all time. They've won the last 3. It's a series that dates back all the way to 1957. And a good contingent of Lobos fans in the house tonight. Only a 6-hour drive from Albuquerque.
There's a lot of red in this building, for sure.
They travel well. Becker and Udezi to tip it up. And we're underway. Glad you could join us here on FS1, Mountain West Hoops.
Air Force is going to switch every screen that they're in. They're in this unique kind of defense that they run. If you're New Mexico, be patient. Get the ball inside and be patient.
They double Udezi right away. Almost got a steal. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Mashburn, leading scorer in the conference, and that's why he can hit a lot of mid-range J's.
He's so good in the mid-range. I know everybody says it, but when you finally get to watch it live, he's so good. And it's because he takes his time and he's balanced in his mid-range shooting.
We see a lot of cutting with this Air Force offense, the Princeton offense. Here's Highbreeder, 3, good! Jake Highbreeder, a 36% three-point shooter.
And when he's hitting from 3, it gives more spacing for that Princeton offense.
With 3-2, Air Force lead. Here's Mashburn, scored the first bucket for the Lobos, 19 points per game for him. Donovan Dent, starting in place of Jalen House. Mashburn fading away, in and out. Rebound to Becker.
And Air Force is going to have to rebound as 5. They're going to have to rebound as a team. It's going to be crucial in this game. On the other end here for New Mexico, they've got to guard the whole shot. All it takes is for one person to fall asleep against this Princeton offense, and you're going to give up a layup. You've got to stay attached and understand your defensive principles.
Can't be sleeping on a Friday night in Colorado Springs. 5 on the clock. Here's Taylor driving, stepping away, and a shot clock violation.
When you look at this game, it's going to come down to a couple of things. I think for Air Force, they've got to take care of the three-point line. They've got to make some threes. We've seen that, and we've seen them rebound early. If you're in New Mexico, continue to get to the free throw line. You do a great job of that, and then dominate the paint. Even though Air Force is switching, you have to still find ways to get the ball inside. Take advantage of the mismatches when they're there.
Udezi strong to the rim, but nice defense by the Falcons. Mills with the rebound. There's Becker down low. He'll match up with Udezi. Nice cut. Highbreeder for 2. A 5-2 Air Force lead. Just underway here from Colorado Springs. Highbreeder's so good cutting to the rim. Devontae Johnson, the basketball, hands it off to Mashburn. Mashburn pull up, and he got fouled on the jumper. Taylor doesn't like the call.
We talked about it. If one person falls asleep, you're going to give up a layup. All of a sudden, Mashburn falls asleep on him. Great cut to the front of the rim. Fantastic finish. That's what this Princeton offense is built upon.
I said it. Don't fall asleep on a Friday night.
You can't.
Here in Colorado Springs. So Mashburn at the free throw line knocks down the first. He's an 80% free throw shooter.
But to go back to that possession, when someone's closely guarding you in that Princeton offense, what do? Backdoor cut right away. You do that, good things happen.
You got to be smart and efficient in this Air Force offense as Mashburn goes 2 for 2. You were loving the warm-up drills they were doing today at the shoot-around. You couldn't stop talking about it with Joe Scott.
I couldn't stop talking about star passing because it's something that we did when I played at Wisconsin all the time. But that's what you do. You pass and cut the most. So why do you not practice it enough? That's why Air Force is really good at this.
Another cut. Petritis.
Princeton, it's just a thing of beauty. If you're a basketball junkie like me, it really is a thing of beauty because every player is really a point guard. Every player has to read the defense and then make the correct pass at the right time.
Now we were talking at shoot-around. Ethan Taylor, the point guard for the Falcons. Mashburn 3-0. Kept alive by Donovan Dent. Mashburn again. Another floater goes. Jamal Mashburn. He's dangerous. Again, 19 points per game. Leading scorer for the Lobos. 7-6 our score here in Colorado Springs. Becker, 3. Off the mark. Udezi. Oh, big jam.
Yeah, the high-low action is what New Mexico's going to have to get to.
All right, everyone, thank you for tuning in to this one. Mountain West action here on FS1. Colorado Springs, Colorado, Air Force, and New Mexico battling it out here at Clune Arena. A 8-7 score here. Another cut by Air Force off the mark. Jacob Toby alongside Brian Butch. The biggest story in this game is that the second leading scorer for the Lobos, Jalen House, he is out as Highbreeder again. It's another layup for 2, and Air Force takes the 1-point lead, but back to House. He was injured during practice. We found out about 20 minutes before tip. He is not playing tonight.
Yeah, and I think when you look at this offensively, what does that do? But I think defensively, the pressure, right? We know Air Force wants to play that Princeton offense, but sometimes you can get some steals out of that. With him out, where does it come from?
Udezi again with another man's jam, and he can eat down low. Air Force has to be careful.
And again, that's what New Mexico has to. They have to dominate that paint. Udezi has to be big and strong and dominate it against Air Force early on.
Petritis driving, couldn't lay it in. Alec, the defense there for the Lobos. Here's Johnson, Colorado Springs native. And an offensive foul against the local kid.
New Mexico's up early because they're attacking the paint. Udezi with the finish, and Jalen House loves everything about it early on.
Welcome back. Mountain West Hoops on FS1. New Mexico up by a point over Air Force. Jacob Toby alongside Brian Butch, and the Lobos are without Jalen House. We found out about 20 minutes before tip he was going to miss this game. Got injured during practice. He's the second leading scorer on this team. He had 42 points here the last time he played at Clune Arena.
And everybody knows about the 17 points he's averaging. You know, he's third in the Mountain West in assists, third nationally. Everybody knows that. But for me, he's the emotional leader for this New Mexico team. when times get tough, because when you play Air Force, it always does, right? Where does that emotion come from? Where does that juice come from? That's going to be so interesting as this game plays out.
Steal here. Donovan Dent got the start in place of House. Counted and a foul. Donovan Dent, the freshman, has no fear early on.
I'd say that'd be some juice. That'll get you going a little bit. When you get some turnovers, you get some steals, you get passing lanes, and then you're able to push it and then finish through the contact. Jacob, I know one of the things I'm big in, layups, eyes make layups. And that's exactly what Donovan Dent did. He was able to get there, get the contact, his eyes got him to the glass, and then that's how you finish and give yourself a chance for a three-point play here.
First personal foul against Camden Vanderswag. So here is Dent, a 69% free throw shooter. In and out for the three-point play opportunity, kept alive by Alec. That's what you're going to see a lot from Josiah Alec, the senior transfer from Kansas City.
He's their glue guy, right? Extra possessions, offensive rebounds. I think he might be their best defender as far as just the ability to switch at times, what he does on the defensive end.
Highbreeder, he's got 7 of Air Force's 9 points. Vanderswag floating, and nice defense. It goes out of bounds off of New Mexico. 8 seconds on the shot clock.
And that's been the biggest difference from this New Mexico team from last year, this year, is the interior presence that they have from both Alex and Odezit.
Morris Odezi, 16 points per game, 9 rebounds as well. In a Highbreeder. Vanderswag, 4 on the shot clock. Becker, 3. Got it to go. Bo Becker.
And that's what Bo Becker's going to have to give them. Double figures, 3 of the last 4 games. That spacing of the floor gives this Princeton offense so much more room to operate. Plus, it brings New Mexico bigs out of the paint.
Alec, nice cut, and another chance for a three-point play for the Lobos. Dent with the beautiful pass down low.
Well, and it starts just a little dribble handoff, and then you look at the drive right to the drop there right to the front of the rim there by Alec, and you have to know who you are. And that's what Alec is. Roll to the front of the rim, make yourself big, and you get rewarded.
How about Richard Patino's squad? They've made 5 of their last 6 field goals, but they missed both of their chances at a three-point play. Petrides driving, and a foul will go against Alec.
What I like by Petrides there is he's continued to attack. Now we know that's what he does. That's what he does. The way he plays, the energy that he brings. But him getting to the paint on the drive, because it's a mismatch. How do you handle the speed that he has? That first step of his gives him the opportunity to get to that rim.
Petrides set a school record with 103 free throw attempts. 3rd most made by a freshman last season. He has been so good at getting to the free throw line. Misses there. (14-12) our score here in Colorado Springs, New Mexico, and Air Force. Mountain West Hoops on FS1. Glad you could join us. Alec will get to, well, maybe he won't. It was on the floor. That's the 2nd foul against Ethan Taylor.
And we talked about getting the ball in the post. It was going to be big for New Mexico. Well, Air Forces bring the double team every single time. And what I really like there is the vision, the bigs playing off of each other. That's what they're going to have to do, right? When the double team comes, the other big cut to the front of the rim because the double team's coming from the opposite big.
Well, Taylor has to sit. He's got an early 2. And back pass turnover by Alec. Marcel McCreary, the freshman from Fort Worth, Texas, comes away with it. He's checked in for the first time tonight. Also in for Air Force Carter Murphy. Petrides lost it out of bounds. Turnover. Dante Johnson comes back in for New Mexico. Vanderswag back in for Air Force. And also coming in for the first time for the Lobos is KJ Jenkins, their leading three-point shooter, 43%. We thought maybe he would get the start in place of Jalen House, but they went with Donovan Dent. So you still have the three-point shooting off the bench.
And I think it's one of those things that you look at Jenkins. That's what he is. He's that sixth man for this team.
Mashburn, three. He can do a lot of that. Jamal Mashburn, a 40% three-point shooter.
And again, a New Mexico team that doesn't shoot a lot of threes because their personnel doesn't do it, but when it's open, they're able to make it.
Nice play by Carter Murphy, the senior from Phoenix. Back and forth we go, Air Force and New Mexico. The Academy has lost 6 straight games. New Mexico's lost 2 in a row. Mashburn again, feeling it. He's got 11.
There's not much Air Force can do there. That's just a great individual play. He gets to his spot, raises up, and finishes.
11 of the 19 points. Jamal Mashburn. He averages 19, leading the Mountain West. High breeder, Becker. Oh, beautiful.
High breeder does a great job of driving it. 2 goes to him and a little drop off. Good patience. I mean, we know you see this from this Air Force team, but getting to see it and understand how to play with each other, it's really showing early on here.
High breeder guarding Mashburn here. Mashburn stripped. Sebastian Forsling, who's come on for New Mexico, fighting for it. Ball goes out of bounds. Timeout on the floor. We will take it to Jamal Mashburn. He is on fire right now. 11 first half points. We're back in a moment. Take a look at the last meeting between Air Force and New Mexico. It was electric. Jamal Mashburn went out, had a game. Air Force did lead by 4 midway through the second half, but Mashburn was too good, and New Mexico comes away with the 81-73 win.
And we talked about, what that does, and again, the confidence. I think with New Mexico, what Jamal Mashburn's done so far early on, especially with the absence of Jalen House, who was going to step up? You knew Jamal Mashburn was going to have a good game because he's been Mr. Consistent all year long. But I think the aggressiveness that he's shown early on has calmed his teammates down, realizing, okay, we're going to be all right with House out during this game.
We were talking with Air Force head coach Joe Scott as a nice move by Vanderswag for 2. And that last meeting between these two teams was only a couple weeks ago, so both of these teams know what they're going to get, and it's still in their memory. It's so recent.
I think both teams, both coaches talked about that. Coach Scott talked about how that was a game where we kind of understood what Air Force basketball was built upon.
A 3-second violation against New Mexico, so it'll be Air Force basketball. There's Joe Scott in his second stint here in Colorado Springs. 7th season overall, technically, but 2 stints here. This team has lost 6 straight games coming into this one tonight at the bottom of the Mountain West, but he feels his team is slowly getting better. They're understanding where they are.
Well, and a team that has gotten off to slow starts in conference play. Now, you look at the way they've started the first 10 minutes here, a really good start for them.
And again, New Mexico is without Jalen House, their second leading scorer. Found out about 20 minutes before tip that he would be missing this game.
And again, New Mexico's going to dig. They're going to find ways. That's where just a young player in Dent has to realize, I have help. I don't need to reach there. I don't need to get a cheap one there, especially with House out. I mean, how much more valuable are Dent's minutes now?
Yeah. That's the first foul on Dent. He's making his first career start. Highbreeder again for 2. Jake Highbreeder, the leading scorer for Air Force. He's been dealing with a hip issue all season long. Hairline fracture in his pelvis. He hardly practices, but he plays 31 minutes a game.
And again, he's the emotional leader, the guy that you just know is going to do the right things on the floor. That's why he can get away with it.
asked Joe Scott, I said, how much respect, how much credit do you have and give for Highbreeder for playing with his injury? And he said, a ton.
Well, and it's because he's moving with all the ball. He's doing everything you're supposed to do. He's following the Princeton rules. He's leading by example. And when you have a young group, they've got to find that person to follow, and he's that guy.
Air Force has made their last 4 from the field. And a turnover there on McCreary.
McCreary just over-penetrated that situation.
Udeze, Alec for 2. How about the big men passing game?
And they worked on that a whole bunch during shoot-around. They worked high-low for easily 15 minutes, just over-the-top passes to make sure they were right. Because this is where the advantage was going to be for New Mexico tonight.
And you asked Richard Pitino, the head coach for New Mexico, what were you looking for when you wanted some transfer big guys? As Highbreeder will get to the free throw line, he said he wanted them to have a body of work.
Well, and I think that's the biggest thing when you look at the body of work. Guys that have been there, done that. Guys that have been through some adversity, and that's what you saw right there from Udeze and Alec is playing off of each other, playing together, playing in college basketball. Like it's one of those things. It's great too. You could have gone high and get a high mid-major guy that maybe played only 5 minutes and might come in and have an impact. But Coach Pitino wanted a guy that he knew and knew guys that were going to have an impact. And when you look at the season so far, 19-5, I think it's those 2 bigs. That's why this whole season's turned around, is because they have a presence down low.
Coach Pitino also said they're both selfless, no complaining, they just go to work. That last foul was on Javonte Johnson, his 2nd personal foul. Highbreeder 1 for 2 from the line. Mashburn, no. Rebound, Highbreeder. Highbreeder's got 10. He's perfect from the field, 4 for 4. Tie game at 21. Vanderswag off on the 3, hit the top of the backboard. Donovan Dent has checked back in for the Lobos. Alec inside gets fouled. He'll get back to the free throw line. Another timeout on the floor. It's a tie game here in Colorado Springs. We're back in a moment. What a season it's been for the New Mexico Lobos. 6 more wins than last season. They started out 13-0 for just the 2nd time in program history. They were the last undefeated team in the country this year. They've been ranked in the AP Top 25 3 separate weeks this season. First ranking since the 2013-14 season, and a win tonight gives New Mexico 20 wins for the first time since that 2013-14 season. Richard Pitino is loving where he's at right now in his 2nd season.
Yeah, and we've looked at what they've done, and I think overall, for me, it's the point in the paint. They're averaging 37.3 points in the paint this year. Last year, 28.4. I mean, that's the difference. And then you see what it's meant KenPom-wise for them. And I think that's the biggest thing is, like, how do you improve KenPom-wise? How do you make yourself a better team? Well, the answer is right there. When you get an extra almost 9 to 10 points a game, just in points in the paint, the easy buckets, that's how you improve on your season. That's how you have a better season.
We talked about it, getting the big man transfers. Josiah Alec was one of them at the free throw line right there. Just made 2 free throws.
Yeah, and it's just not the big guys.
Yep, you're right.
It opens up driving lanes for your guards, and your guards are so quick in what they do.
Another chance here for the Falcons. Highbreeder, nice pass underneath. McCreary's rejected by Udeze, but they're going to call a foul on him. And the Lobos faithful who have traveled here from Albuquerque do not like it.
Live, that looked pretty clean. Now, if you're going to have it, it's anything with the body, but live, that looked like a pretty good block. And I can understand why Coach Pitino's upset about that call.
That's Udeze's first personal foul, so McCreary is at the free throw line. The freshman from Fort Worth, Texas. He was the Mountain West Freshman of the Week back on January 16th.
But when you cut to the rim, when you put pressure at the rim, good things happen. That's a situation where, live it looked like a block, even, replays look like a block. But when you put it there, it gives a chance to possibly get a foul call.
And you know what? Jake Highbreeder is the leading scorer for the Falcons, but he can pass. He knows when to pass in this offense.
Absolutely.
And find the cutter. Back to a tie game. Mashburn says, not anymore. Another bucket for Jamal Mashburn.
Highbreeder can score and pass. This guy, Jamal Mashburn, he can score with the best of them. He can score with the best of them in the nation. His mid-range is so good.
13 first-half points. Here he is right now with the basketball. Again, the biggest story today, his backcourt mate, as he goes to the rim again for two. He's got 15 first-half points without his backcourt mate, Jalen House.
We talked about the big, but Alec did a great job of sealing and creating that driving lane.
Murphy missing. Back comes Mashburn. And a turnover. Highbreeder back the other way. Highbreeder against Jenkins, sidestepping. Oh! Jake Highbreeder for two.
And to find some easy baskets for this Air Force team is so good. Great job by Jake Highbreeder.
Again, Highbreeder battling a hip issue all season long. Doesn't practice much, but he's out there running, cutting, passing, doing everything for the Falcons. 2-point game. Donovan Dent, the freshman, getting his first career start, misses there. And the rebound to Corbin Green. Highbreeder three. Got it to go! Jake Highbreeder again! He's got 15 here in the first half, matching Mashburn. The crowd loves Jake Highbreeder. Air Force takes the 1-point lead. Back and forth we go here in the first half.
And Alec does a great job of opening up the lane, but Highbreeder has been able to get going in transition, and he's been able to get going from the three, and that's what Air Force needs. They've been hitting some shots, they've been getting to the lane, they've been doing a little bit of everything.
And he's probably the only guy on this Air Force squad that has the green light to shoot from just about anywhere outside of that Princeton offense.
Yeah, I'd say the 15 points, that green light's going to still exist the rest of the game so far. 6 of 6, 2 of 2 from 3. He's been a spark play. He has all year. He averages 14 a game, leading scorer. He's got the green light, but that energy right now in this game, we talk about the slow starts for Air Force. It's been one of those things where they've struggled with all year. They're right where they want right now. Like, February is a tough time of the month because you get kind of this wall, and that's what Coach Scott was talking about. How do we fight through it? That's a good way to fight through it.
And Joe Scott called Highbreeder their Energizer Bunny. 3 ties, 7 lead changes in this game already here in the first half. Mashburn, he's feeling it. 8 on the shot clock for the Lobos. Jenkins driving, swatted away by Green. They love Corbin Green, their freshman, big man. He's posting up down low. They couldn't get it to him. Here he is with the basketball. The cut and a layup. Another one, Petritis.
Petritis does a great job of just a simple cut and the passing, the playing off each other.
He didn't score against Colorado State in Air Force's last game in that loss. You knew he was going to come out and play better as Jenkins misses. And Udeze grabs the rebound and takes a fall. That'll be a foul against Petritis.
And right now, New Mexico's getting jump shot happy. You know, the bigs have done a good job of trying to get the offensive rebounds and create some opportunities there. But New Mexico's jump shot heavy, and it's one of those things. You've got to be disciplined enough. You've got to have the maturity offensively to realize you still need to get the ball inside.
The Falcons are on a 7-0 run here. Can New Mexico respond? Jenkins in and out on a 3. Udeze the rebound. Mashburn thought about it. He'll reset. Fading away. Front rim. Big game for both of these teams. The Falcons have lost 6 straight. Murphy to the rim. Another layup for the Falcons.
And New Mexico needs to get back in transition. It's one of those. That's just an easy transition basket. It's not a strength of New Mexico transition defense, and there you saw why.
Just watching Coach Patino on the sideline, not happy right now. Another miss. Jenkins.
And not a good shot. You got to be disciplined offensively against Air Force as well.
Highbreeder. No, a foul will go on the floor. That basket will not count. That foul will go against Donovan Dent. Back and forth we go, huh?
Off and rolling. It's great. Murphy with the take to the bucket. Air Force up by 5.
All right, Rob, thank you very much. It is a good one here with 3:35 to go in the first half. How about Jamal Mashburn and Jake Highbreeder both going at it? 15 each.
You look at that, but I'm really impressed with Air Force and points in the paint. They've got 20 of them. Last game, they only had 20 versus Colorado State for the entire game. And why are they doing that? Because New Mexico is not following the principles on the defensive end. They're losing vision, and now all of a sudden you're cutting to the front of the basket, giving up layups.
See what happened here. Green out of bounds off of New Mexico.
That looked like it went off Air Force. A little bit of luck there that you get for Air Force.
Highbreeder, 5 in the shot clock, has to do something with it. Highbreeder with 3. Murphy firing at the shot clock buzzer. No. Kept alive by Petritis, and he got fouled.
And when you look at the scouting report for Petritis, number 1, offensive rebounder. You got to put a body on him. He's so active. You look at him here, the ball goes up. Where is he coming from? He comes from the top of the key and just keeps fighting and fighting and finding the ball.
That's 3 personal fouls on Donovan Dent, the freshman, who's starting in place of Jalen House, the Lobos' second leading scorer.
And if you remember, we were talking about he had the post matchup. He reaches in, gets that tic-tac one early on in this game, and now all of a sudden, when you do get a couple of normal fouls, it means you get 3 and you got to go sit now.
It's Dent's first career start. How about Petritis, 0 for 3 from the free throw line so far, and he finally makes one.
Now if you're New Mexico, try to get some paint touches. Get something to your bigs. Work that way.
New Mexico's 0 for their last 6 from the field. They haven't scored in almost 4 minutes. Johnson, 3, in and out.
It's a tough shot.
Turnover.
And Johnson can make those shots, but it's a really tough shot.
Corbin Green, the freshman, back in his way. Oh, the Kareem skyhook.
I'm a big,
You love that. Brian Butch loves it.
He took the time, the patience. He got his shoulder into the big, finished with the skyhook. I'm a happy person right now. Bring it back. Bring back the skyhook.
That's what everyone wanted LeBron to do on his big bucket on Tuesday night. Mashburn fading. Oh, gets it to go.
And that's just an answer. That's what he's done all year.
Jamal Mashburn, 17 first half points, 7 of 12 from the field. Green, a little out of rhythm there.
Might have got away with the try, too.
It's okay, he had the skyhook though. Joe Scott just did a jump into midair on the sideline. And a foul will go against Air Force. Let's revisit this beautiful shot.
It's patience, it's timing, it's understanding everything about it. He does such a great job of understanding, hey, there's no help coming. I can take my time. I can do everything I need to do to get the shot that I want.
They love the potential of Corbin Green, freshman from Midlothian, Texas. Went viral in high school after he had a monster dunk. And he was dunking all around shoot-around today. He'll take a seat.
And Green just brings that energy. Like he's that pogo stick down below. battling for rebounds all over.
Alec misses the free throw. Forsling keeps it alive. Back to Alec. Drives again. Swatted away. Becker with it. Here's Petrides. Murphy thought about a three. Mills and a Highbreeder. Highbreeder and Mashburn guarding each other, going at it. And a turnover. Out of bounds off of Air Force.
If you're in New Mexico right now, you're down by 6, you got to get a good possession. You look at what Air Force has done. You see a lot of bodies. Even on that block, you're seeing 4 guys down there. But find a way to run some really good offense and try to, get into this lead a little bit.
We're going to see a lot of block shots in this game. Air Force the most in the Mountain West coming into this game at 106 as Johnson misses the 3. And New Mexico is second in the Mountain West in blocks. Highbreeder crossing over, switching hands. Oh, he put it in! Count it! And a foul!
We've talked about New Mexico's transition defense. Nobody finds Highbreeder at all. Nobody finds him. Now I know the New Mexico fans are a little bit upset with that call, but when you don't find the top scorer in transition, bad things happen.
Highbreeder 1 for 3 from the free throw line, but he's perfect from the field. 7 for 7. Mashburn to answer. Oh, he puts it in. Mashburn's got 20.
What an answer.
Highbreeder blowing by everybody. He's got 19.
And you see New Mexico lack of communication there. Highbreeder just does a simple DHO handoff, then keeps it, goes right to the bucket.
What a first half from the Academy. 4-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Maybe 3. Mashburn against Becker. Mashburn driving, and he's blocked. Vanderswag with it. 2 on the clock. Vanderswag at the buzzer, way off. And that concludes a wild first half here in Colorado Springs.
We got a great second half coming up. You know New Mexico's going to have an answer. Is Air Force going to be able to handle it? It's a great one.
We'll go to Rob Stone and the rest of our crew after the break. 39-32. Rob Stone, Jamal Jordan. Take it away, boys, after the break. 39-32. Here from Colorado Springs. It's been fun. See you in the second half. About to start the second half here in Colorado Springs. Air Force up by 7 over New Mexico. Jacob Toby and Brian Bush with you. Hey, Air Force hasn't led in a conference game at the half at all this season. Yeah. They are now, though.
Well, they are, and they've played great. Offensively, you look at what they've been able to do. They play off each other. They find ways to do that. Highbreeder's done a great job of getting involved. For me, everybody knows he's a 3-level scorer and what he's able to do. It's a great example of what 3 levels. You shoot from 3, you shoot a little mid-range, get in, and then you continue to get to the basket. He's done all of that right now early on. 8 of 8 from the floor, 2 of 2 from the 3, 1 of 3. But on the other side, Mashburn's done a really good job of having the answer when Air Force has made runs. Air Force had a 12-0 run in that first half. Mashburn's been the guy to have that answer for him. I haven't loved the offense by New Mexico. I think they need to force and get the ball into the paint this second half, but continue to get Mashburn involved. He's feeling it right now, and I think he's going to be your answer when you need a bucket.
Mashburn, the first Lobo with 20 points in the first half since Vance Jackson against Fresno State back in February of 2019.
Great cut by Highbreeder there. Just a simple playing off of each other. That's the principles of this Princeton offense.
And how about this? The Falcons are 7-0 when leading at the half. New Mexico is 3-4 when trailing at the half.
And Air Force switches all these screens, but have the maturity, get the ball in the post, know the double team's coming, and now make the play out of it.
We're going to get Air Force on a foul here. The crowd maybe wanted to travel on Udezi. Foul will be on Jeffrey Mills.
But I talk about the maturity, right? You got a group that's not a great year last year, now playing really well, but things not going the way you want them to go right now. Have the maturity, understand what you need to do to get a win if you're in New Mexico.
We talked about it at the top of the broadcast. No Jalen House for New Mexico, out due to injury. He got injured in practice. We said Jamal Mashburn's going to have to step up. He had 20 points in the first half, looked really good. 8 of 14 from the field in 21 minutes.
And I don't think he forced anything. That was the other part of it. I felt at times New Mexico, some of the other guys forced some shots. Didn't get that feeling with Mashburn.
KJ Jenkins starting the second half here for the Lobos. Donovan Dent got his first career start, the freshman, as Mashburn misses. But it's Jenkins here in the second. Air Force with the rebound. The Falcons have lost 6 straight games, trying to right the ship here in Colorado Springs. New Mexico has lost 2 in a row, so both teams need a win. Bo Becker. And an offensive foul. Jenkins taking the charge.
And that's what New Mexico needs, some stops. Right? Like Becker does a great job of creating a closeout. And it's a good job of getting there and being set by Jenkins.
Steal. Petritis.
Air Force has got a lot of those opportunities, easy buckets. They've got some in transition off of steals. They've got some just dribble drive actions where they've scored right away.
The Lobos have owned the Falcons in this series. They've won the last 3, 64 and 26 overall. Udezi, offensive foul.
Petrikis was there to take that charge. There's a quick steal by Petrikis. He's able to get out, get an early one, and then next time down on the floor, he's able to draw the charge. The number tonight was going to be 81. 81 points. Was New Mexico going to get there? And was Air Force going to give it up? Air Force only gave up 5 points. Like they're offensively they're clicking, but defensively they're doing a great job. Both of those together, I mean, Air Force really, this is as crisp as I've seen them play this year.
Ethan Taylor for 2. A 13-point lead here in the second half. Jenkins no. Mills the rebound. What a showing here by Air Force. Becker no. Maybe wanted to pass to a cutter. Gets it back. Fires a 3. Off. Kept alive. Mills. Becker cutting. Easy 2. The lead grows to 15.
Simple cut to the rim. Give him a shot, make big fella. Air Force up big.
Welcome back to Clune Arena, where Air Force is up by 15 over New Mexico. Let's take a look at some of the net rankings for the Mountain West teams. This is a really good league.
That's a huge understatement.
Yeah.
Like this league, you look at what they've done. 5 teams in the net top 40. And the net's based on how good the league is from top to bottom. Now you look at this Mountain West team, and where they're at as far as total as a conference. 5th. There's no ACC. There's no Pac-12. It's the Mountain West, and this is it. And this is why. Because we talked to Coach Joe Scott. He goes, "We're the team that everybody should beat. We're the team that this is we're the bottom. And look at what they're doing now against this New Mexico up 15. It's because Air Force has gotten so much better. We know they're young, and they're trying to figure out how you play through February. They might have figured it out the way they're playing tonight.
It's been a really good showing by the Falcons. Again, New Mexico is without their second leading scorer, Jalen House. Found out about 20 minutes before tip-off that he would not be going. Got injured during practice. There he is right there. That's 17 a game right there that the Lobos are missing.
17 a game. I'm talking about the emotional leader. I know every Lobo fan out there doesn't necessarily agree with me when I say that, but he is the emotional leader. He gets them going. He's able to get them going. Easy buckets, some steals, different things, kind of get that energy level high.
Highbreeder again scoring. He's still perfect from the field. He's 10 for 10.
A 10-0 run to start the second half, and all 10 points have been in the paint for Air Force.
Mashburn answers every time Highbreeder scores. Mashburn does the same.
He's done that. Now can they guard? Can New Mexico get a stop? Can they put a streak together and get stops?
The Lobos give up 72 points per game to their opponents. Third worst in the Mountain West. Mills, Taylor, 3, bingo!
Really good offense. You drive, you get to the paint, you fill back up, you hit the fill guy for the wide open 3. And offensively, Air Force is just clicking right now.
Johnson spinning through a double team and scores. Javante Johnson, Colorado Springs native, so he's back home. Said he sold around 20 tickets, gave out to family and friends for this game. He's got people watching in the crowd. Highbreeder, wide open 3. He's still perfect. 11 for 11 from the field. .26 for Highbreeder. Johnson with a long 3.
And go under the screen there. Johnson's able to bury it. Now, again, we've talked a lot about, can they get any stops on this end?
The cut. Mills, easy 2. Petritis the pass.
We said to start the game, all it takes is one person not do their job against this Princeton offense.
Air Force has come into this game with a mission. Losers of their last 6. Udezi, no. Got his own miss, fouled, and he'll get to the free throw line. The Air Force Falcons have been on fire. Jake Highbreeder, the sophomore, shooting the lights out. Mountain West Hoops here on FS1. Glad you could join us. Air Force all over New Mexico. Right now, their offense has been really, really good tonight.
Well, it's all about analytics. Nobody likes mid-range. Well, they haven't taken any mid-range. It's paint, it's 3-point. To me, what this tells me, I'm looking at the paint points more than anything. 38 to 18. That just shows a little sweat equity that they've shown in the last couple of days of practice. They focused on what they needed to do. They cut hard, go to the basket. Coach Scott talked about, hey, we had guys wide open. We showed them in film. We just got to be able to play off of each other. They're playing off of each other because it's not like they're throwing the ball in the post. They're not backing them down. We did see the Kareem earlier on.
We did.
But that was the only post move that we saw. The rest of it is just off of cutting and getting layups.
This game was tied at 21. Since then, 36 to 18, an Air Force run. 2 missed free throws by Udezi. New Mexico's been outscored 18 to 7 in the second half. Mills, Highbreeder, 10 on the shot clock. Taylor gets the screen from Becker. Back to Becker, back to Taylor. Taylor fires, and he hits another 3 for the Falcons. That's their 6th.
And we talked about keys to this game. For Air Force, is going to be the 3-point line and rebounding. They're out rebounding New Mexico 21-17. And for New Mexico, is going to be get to the free throw line. They're equal right now with Air Force and dominate the paint. They're down by 20.
Dent went to go into Alec, and it's off of New Mexico. I was just watching the Lobos bench. Jalen House, the second leading scorer for the Lobos, is not playing tonight. He's injured. He was shaking his head.
And it was the angle of the pass. That's too tough of an angle to try to make that entry pass into the post.
Mills cutting, had to throw it back out. Petrides, high breeder firing, and he misses for the first time tonight. He was 11 for 11. Mashburn pull up. Out to Highbreeder. And he smartly slows it down.
Well, and this is, if you're New Mexico, you're in a tough spot. Yeah, you're down by 21, but with 13 minutes, most times you feel good about it. There's a great steal. That's what they're going to have to do, create that energy.
Donovan Dent for two. He almost missed it. He wants a foul on that.
And again, with almost 13 minutes left, now a little less than that, with the way Air Force plays by slowing the game down, you got to start getting some stops and executing here.
Petrides is fouled on the floor.
It's going to be energy plays like this by Dent that's going to get New Mexico back into it. And I think that's the biggest thing. They've got to find ways to get easy buckets. They have not done a great job of scoring in the half court against Air Force's defense.
Donovan Dent, the freshman from Riverside, California, making his first career start. Gets the bucket there. Josiah Alec with his fourth personal foul, so he has to sit. Javante Johnson comes in for him. Becker, three. Another Air Force three. Becker's got 10 points.
They're playing so well off of each other. It's really, I know if you're a New Mexico fan, you're not saying it's beautiful basketball, but if you're a junkie, it's beautiful basketball.
And there is Mashburn floating, putting it in. Taylor, Becker wide open, easy money for the Falcons.
And it's a lack of communication on the defensive end for New Mexico. More than anything, they're not talking. They're supposed to switch that action. They don't. Gives up a wide open dunk. It's the lack of communication. More than execution, it's just talking to each other.
Mashburn went to go inside of Udeze, swatted away. Everything that could go wrong for New Mexico has gone wrong. Is nice block on the defensive end though. Can they get a bucket in transition? The freshman Dent is fouled.
The game is simple. When you play together, when you play for each other, good things happen. Becker with the finish. Air Force up big.
Back here in Colorado Springs, Air Force demolishing New Mexico right now by way of the tray ball. 54% from downtown.
We are at Air Force. We gotta let it fly. And they're letting it fly. That was twice. I mean, they are letting this thing fly. We knew it was gonna be a key in this game. They're third in the Mountain West. They make 8.2 threes a game. So you knew it was gonna be important. But just the way they're shooting it. I mean, and again, they're open shots because you got guys that are cutting to the rim. The defense is sucking in, and you've got open guys that are wide open. Now, part of it also is New Mexico, when they're playing off of each other, they're not communicating and coming together on the switch. Because they're not coming together, now all of a sudden you've got guys wide open.
If you showed this tape to Joe Scott, head coach of Air Force, he'd say, yep, that's exactly what I want out of my offense.
Well, and I think when they talked about it at film, when we had a chance to kind of sit back and he came out and talked to us, he goes, there were guys wide open last game. We just weren't playing for each other and making that right pass. We're doing that tonight.
Free throws good by Donovan Dent, the freshman making his first career start tonight. Again, Jalen House, the second leading scorer for New Mexico, is out, has not played tonight. And they are missing his 17 points per game. Becker. Taylor driving, blowing by. Couldn't finish. Forsling the rebound. And the Lobos get out and run. Jenkins takes the contact, misses the layup.
Constant movement. And when you move like that, you create fouls. when you're moving, when everybody's moving, now all of a sudden that defender has to grab because why? They didn't jump to the ball. Because they didn't jump to the ball, they're in a bad position, and all of a sudden that cutter goes by, and the only thing you can do is grab him. And that's what we saw in that possession.
What did I say to you? I said, don't fall asleep on a Friday night.
To start it off, absolutely. And New Mexico, at times, has fallen asleep.
And this is somewhat surprising because of the way that New Mexico has just come out. I mean, they came off a buzzer beater loss against Nevada. Keenan Blackshear beat him at the buzzer last game. You would have thought they'd be motivated in this one. Dent will get back to the free throw line.
And Dent's done a good job of getting in passing lanes. But not having Jalen House there to do the same thing, to create that energy, and to create some doubt within Air Force. There's been zero resistance as far as any of those passes by Air Force. And that's why they're clicking so well. And I go back to it, but Jalen House, what would he have done pressure-wise to kind of make some of those passes by Air Force look like, oh, can I make that pass? Can I? No, I shouldn't. Right? Like not having him out there, you've seen this Air Force team really just feel very, very comfortable.
House quick on the offensive end, but quick as a perimeter defender as well. That was the third foul against Jeffrey Mills. There are a ton of Lobos fans here. Oh, Highbreeder the fake, but he got blocked. Dent again, Dent curling and scoring. Donovan Dent, coast to coast.
And if New Mexico's going to get into it, it's going to be in transition like that. They're going to have to score. They have not done well in that half court against Air Force.
He got his first career start tonight as Mills couldn't handle the pass from Petritis. Dent got his first career start in place of House, then didn't start the second half. It was KJ Jenkins, but he's come back in and played well. Highbreeder sent away by Forsling.
And because of that, now you get out and you get running. And that's what Dent does so well, and that's what New Mexico needs to do more of if you're going to find a way to get back into this thing.
Wide open three. Jenkins buries it. And a little run here by the Lobos.
Now, can they get stops? Can they be disciplined enough on this end?
A lot of New Mexico fans made the 6-hour drive from Albuquerque. Becker battling down low. No shot. It'll be on the floor.
On this run by New Mexico, this 8-0 run by New Mexico, it starts, they're able to get some passing lanes, kind of get some doubt within Air Force. Can they continue to stack the stops?
That's 4 personal fouls on Donovan Dent, the guy who's ignited this run. So he has to come out. Barima Sek, the sophomore from Senegal, comes in for the first time tonight.
Remember, we talked about early in the game, he got a cheapie because the help was there. He reached in, didn't need to reach in at all. He gets the cheap one, and now we're seeing it with 9 minutes left in the second half, how big of an impact that foul was.
So Sek playing his first minutes tonight. Highbreeder. Pass, 8 on the shot clock. Murphy. Vanderswag. Becker, 3. And a good answer. Bo Becker's got 15.
His growth over this year has been so good. It's been so good. He's given this offense something they've needed, a shooting big that can stretch the floor. 5 of 6 from 3 this half by Air Force.
He was a scout team player last year. Didn't play a single minute for Joe Scott's squad as Mashburn swishes on the other end.
We talk about it, you felt like New Mexico was have that. That 3 was so big because of the way that Air Force plays.
Murphy scooping up and under for 2. Carter Murphy.
Murphy does a good job. There's a little screen here, but there's a lack of communication. You see both Lobo players pointing to each other. Now Murphy turned that corner really quick to get there. But we talked a lot about the communication on the defensive end for New Mexico. That picture right there is what we've been talking about all night long. You see Murphy driving, and you see 2 Lobo players pointing at each other because they didn't talk through that action.
That foul goes against Barima Sek. Again, he just checked in a moment ago for Donovan Dent, who's got 4 personal fouls. Murphy completes the three-point play.
42 points in the paint for Air Force tonight. 42. It's their season high.
New Mexico was the one scoring all the points in the paint coming into this game as Mashburn misses. And a foul over the back against Sek. That'll be his second personal foul in about 2 minutes.
We talked a lot about it. Keys are going to be three-point line and rebounding for Air Force. They're doing that. They're out rebounding New Mexico right now, 24-21.
And how big is it that Air Force is now in the bonus?
And these fouls, the big thing is, it's because of the cutting by Air Force, the pressure, the movement, the body movement. Because you've got cheap fouls throughout because you're grabbing, because all of a sudden you don't foul that normal defensive discipline of jumping to the ball and staying solid. You lose vision.
Corbin Green goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Back to a 20-point game. The Lobos have one final run in them to make it a game. Johnson, pull up, too strong. Air Force can take their time with their offense. That's their advantage. Cut, move, take time. Murphy, off fake, floater, good. A 44-22 points in the paint advantage for Air Force. And a timeout. The Falcons are all over the Lobos. We're back here in a moment. .22 lead for Air Force matches their largest lead of the game. If this stands, this would be a very tough loss to come back from for New Mexico. Take a look at the resume, tournament resume.
And you look at Mike DeCourcy, last 4 in. With a loss like this, now it moves you a little bit. Now, the St. Mary's win is going to be good. The San Diego State win is going to be good. But this is one, when you look at it right now, Air Force is 173 in the net. This is one that's going to hurt what you do, and it's going to move you now to the bubble. The best thing, though, we've talked about how strong this league is, the Mountain West. You're going to have opportunities to get some really quality wins ahead of you. And if you're New Mexico, that's got to be the focus. With 7:30 left and the way that Air Force plays, there's a chance if you get some steals and get things rolling really fast here. But this is not the performance that I think any New Mexico fan or player or coach and Coach Padilla thought they were going to put out tonight.
A 17-5 bench points advantage for Air Force in this game. Again, they are without, New Mexico is without their second leading scorer, Jalen House. Found out about 20 minutes before tip he wouldn't play tonight. Got injured in practice. This game was tied at 21 in the first half. And since then, the Falcons have just run away with it.
And you've talked about the fouls and the foul trouble for New Mexico. Plays just like that, where you get frustrated because they're moving, it's a screen. Now all of a sudden there's a grab because you didn't talk through that action. And now all of a sudden Air Force is at the free throw line.
That's the third foul on Morris Udezi. First free throw on the 1-and-1 is good by Petrides.
There's so many ways to put pressure at the rim. In the end of the game, your goal as a basketball player is to find ways to put pressure at the rim and score near it. Now, obviously, when you do that, you can kick out for 3, all those other things, but cutting is such an undervalued one that analysts don't talk nearly enough about. And Air Force does that. That's what they've done today. They put pressure at the rim by cutting.
And there is, as the foul is on the floor, no doubt about it that this is the best the Academy has played all season long.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
Absolutely. And a much needed one. When we talked with Coach Scott at shoot around, he goes, we have a young team, and young teams need to learn how to play in February. You talk about hitting walls. Talk about Ritas Petritis, hitting that wall. Last 2 games, 2 of 12. What has he done? That 9 points, right? 6 rebounds. He's kind of fought through that. He goes, what we've done in practice is we've just really given our guys 4 hard minutes. Just give me 4 hard minutes. Play at this level for 4 hard minutes. He changed up some things. Well, Coach, it's worked. It's worked. It's worked tonight. Do it tomorrow and keep building on this so that this young group can grow confident in what they're doing.
The roster breakdown is crazy on Air Force. 17 of 20 players are freshmen and sophomores, just 3 upperclassmen.
Performances like this give you confidence, not just for this year, but for next year.
Air Force picked to finish last in the Mountain West preseason poll. Offensive foul goes against the Falcons. Yeah, just take a look at it. Underclassmen.
And that's where you talk about that building for not just the end to finish this year the right way.
Mashburn has been quiet here in the second half. Scores there. Jamal Mashburn, leading scorer in the Mountain West. He's got 28 in this game without his backcourt mate Jalen House. Murphy almost loses it out of bounds. 12 on the shot clock. Green, 3, short. Johnson a 3. That's good. Javante Johnson, Colorado Springs native, puts it in. 16-point deficit for the Lobos. Under 6 to play.
And this is where that Air Force offense is so tough, because they're going to melt this clock or get layups. Either way, right? Like if the layup's there, you're going to take it. Otherwise, you're going to melt that clock, and you got to guard for all of it.
How about Murphy keeping it up high? Mashburn, up fake, mid-range, got it. He's got 30. Jamal Mashburn trying to keep New Mexico in it.
And look for New Mexico to pick up the pressure. They've been calling for it to try to get up and get in passing lanes, make some of this difficult so you can try to create some turnovers. That's again where House is out. You lose a big part of that.
Jalen House averages 17 points per game. Murphy, oh, beautiful spinning move. Carter Murphy, the senior. Did he call bank?
It's always open late on a Friday night in Colorado Springs, right?
Apparently.
The new bank, they're always open.
Murphy's got 13. It's a season high for him.
When you look at what Murphy's done, you talk about the season high and what he's done, known as a cutter, as an active guy, but here, takes his time, reads the defense, feels comfortable with the matchup, and then the kiss off the glass. Man, it's a beautiful finish. It's a beautiful footwork to be able to get back to the jump hook that he wants, understanding what that means and how that has to work. Like, you can tell he's absolutely feeling it tonight. As he got 13, 6 of 9 on from the floor. What an energy boost.
Mashburn makes both free throws. 4:26 to go here in the second half. Jacob Toby and Brian Butch bringing you through this one in a stunner.
I just think it goes back to prove how good this Mountain West Conference is.
Petritis driving in. He gets fouled.
I just don't think this league gets enough credit. When you look from top to bottom, and again, we talked with Coach Scott, but he goes, we're the team that people look at that we should, and we've gotten better. And if you ask any coach, we've gotten better. And you look at tonight's game, a great example of that. They've gotten a lot better. And tonight, this is what they can be. Now it's about consistency, and with young players, finding that consistency night in and night out is extremely tough. That's why having older players always helps, because that consistent level is normally there.
4 Air Force players are in double figures as they get the offensive rebound. 4 minutes to go here in the second half. Domination by the Falcons in every facet of the game. 3 on the shot clock. Murphy. Oh, he's having a game. He's got 16.
That should surprise anybody that went in with the way that he's playing tonight.
A good group of Lobos fans traveled the 6-hour drive to come here. And it's been a struggle for their squad. Carter Murphy. His playing time has been cut down the last 5. Not tonight. He's been red hot from 3. Murphy feeling it.
Jared Lucas tied his career high with 28 points, courtesy of 6 triples in Tuesday's 1-point win at New Mexico. His Nevada Wolfpack up next as they host Fresno State. But first, we take you back to Jacob and Brian in Colorado Springs.
Hi, Rob. Thank you very much. Welcome back. It's a 20-point game here in Colorado Springs. Air Force has been tremendous. Take a look at the big 3 for New Mexico and how they have fared tonight. Of course, Jalen House, second leading scorer on New Mexico. He's out tonight. And the rest, Jamal Mashburn has been good, but Udeze has struggled.
Yeah, Udeze, that's a situation. You look at that, normally they're scoring 53 points a game. Udeze only 5. They brought the double team, Air Force has, but he just hasn't been able to get comfortable at all. Normally he gets some rolls to the rim, active down there. We haven't seen any of it. And it's a lot of it's because of Air Force's switching defense. And to be honest, it surprised me tonight. It really has, because New Mexico had already played Air Force. They had seen this defense before. So this performance is really surprising.
Air Force lost that game back in January on the 27th. That was an 81-73 loss. Another cut, another layup. Petritis again.
And then you look at Air Force and what they've done. They've had open guys all year long. They've found ways. They just haven't necessarily connected. Tonight, their connectivity is just out of this world. They're playing for each other, playing with each other. You're seeing wide open cuts for layups. The beauty of the Princeton offense is coming out this evening for Air Force.
Donovan Dent at the free throw line. Making his first career start tonight. Jenkins comes back in. And Mashburn takes a seat. Probably will not be coming back in this one.
Yeah, and if you're in New Mexico, a couple things to take away. You look at what Donovan Dent did as far as 10 points, get to the free throw line, was active in some passing lanes. Is he able to give you a spark plug in one of these games you've got coming up? Is he able to come in and give you some quality minutes in some games now with where you're at? The last 4 in with Mike DeCourcy, is he able to help you get one of those marquee wins that you're going to need to get that's on your schedule?
Murphy, air ball on the 3. He's already got a career high 16 points tonight, but misses there. Johnson hits the 3. He's got 11. Two minutes to go here from Colorado Springs. A complete effort by Joe Scott's squad. They were 7-0 when leading at the half. That'll advance to 8-0 as Petritis travels with it. We talk about the cutting, the passing by the Falcons tonight. They average 15 assists per game, 3rd best in the Mountain West. They've got 21 tonight, most in a conference game this season.
And you can tell, the game of basketball is simple. And when you play for each other, you show. And this is now Donovan Dent fouls out. We talked about his early foul he picked up, but just a young freshman understanding, gets moved into the starting lineup. How valuable of minutes was this? Like, he's very aggressive, sometimes over-aggressive, and that's why he fouls out tonight.
Air Force will travel and play at Utah State and then in Laramie against Wyoming next week. Murphy, a career-high 18 points for Carter Murphy. And Joe Scott will take a timeout. And he'll empty his bench.
I really like the physicality of Air Forces too. Undersized, but you look at what they've done. 13 second chance points. New Mexico, 2. They brought the physicality to New Mexico as well.
3 is good by Jenkins. Air Force brings in a couple new players. Kellen Boylan, Chase Beasley, Jake Murphy, Marcel McCreary all come on, as well as Byron Brown, who has the ball right now. And a blowout here at Clune Arena. Turnover here by McCreary. There's Johnson, hometown kid from Colorado Springs. And a nice bucket. He's got 13 points. Coming up for New Mexico on their schedule, they'll play Wyoming at home, and then they're at San Jose State as Johnson gets an and-one opportunity. So he'll go to the free throw line, try and convert the three-point play. He's had a nice second half.
And I think for New Mexico, tonight's game was about trying to find those ways to score with Jalen House out, trying to get those passing lanes. And when they did, and it wasn't nearly enough, they were able to get out, because against that half-court defense, they just didn't have enough success. They just didn't.
Air Force, what an effort.
Well, it was, and I thought they matched the physicality. They came out, they played together as a team. The ball moved, bodies moved, and they scored off of those, making it really tough for New Mexico to guard. Just an excellent performance tonight by Air Force.
Air Force beats New Mexico 89-77. That'll do it. From Colorado Springs, for our producer Doug Marino, director Jared Legrani, statistician Pat Chavez, for my man Brian Butch, I'm Jacob Toby saying so long and good night from Colorado Springs. Rob Stone is coming up next. We'll send it to him. Air Force is a winner.